What's up, vapors? Thanks for checking out Daily Vape TV. My name is Nick, and it's that vlog time once again. Today is Monday, July 4th. Happy Independence Day, everyone that's watching in the United States. To everyone else, happy July 4th. So thank you guys so much for joining me. We have a variety of different topics to talk about today, so let's vape. All right, all my U.S. watchers, happy July 4th, happy Independence Day. Hope everyone is having a safe and happy holiday. Hope you got a 3-day weekend. But anyways, yeah, so we have tons of stuff to talk about today. My first topic, I'm sure you guys know by now, is what I'm vaping on this week. And let's start it off real quick with what I built on Friday, which is this Mage RTA by the people over at Coil Art. They sent me along a few of these to do a review on, so I decided I wanted to show off the build before I actually get into the whole review of it, just so, you know, you guys get a little teaser there. I like teasing you guys. But they also sent another one over here, and you might just see that come up during the review video. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be cool. What else? So yeah, this build in here, I've got 7 wraps of fused Clapton wire using 26 gauge and 36 gauge Nichrome 80, around I think a 3mm bit. I believe that's what I used. And it just barely fit in here. It was so crammed, and I didn't do my normal kind of wicking technique where you just put the cap on, trim it around, and then just stick it in. I actually had to tuck it all the way into the deck before I put the chimney section on. But I will say the build on this is pretty easy, actually. I mean, I was kind of surprised by how easy it was to build on this thing. Especially since, like, I love the moonshot, like the size and the form and the shape and everything like that, but I could not stand the fact that the build deck just popped out like that. This one here, it does swivel around, so you can just free spin it. However, it does stay within the bottom section here, so when you're putting your coils in there, you can actually fire it up, and this goes for the Tornado tank as well by iJoy. You can actually fire your coils without putting that chimney on first, so that is extremely helpful, I gotta tell you. I do like this little beveled top cap thing here. It's really nice to have that on there because even if you're, like, you know, shoving the whole thing in your mouth, you're not going to get any heat whatsoever from the actual tank itself. And I like to, you know, especially when I'm driving, I'll just, you know, have this thing just hanging out over here, you know, and you could just take a big rip off of it without having it be too hot. So that is definitely going to be a pro in my book, but I guess we'll save the rest of the review for the video there. I mean, I don't want to tease you guys too much, but this tank is great. In the tank today, I've got some Great Falls Vapor. This is Let Them Vape Cake, the same thing I've been vaping on for the past few days. First of all, I love the design. Everything is gorgeous on here. The bottles are really cool because they're 60 ml squeeze bottles, which I think that is the new big thing. Everyone's doing these 60 ml squeeze bottles, and I think that's great because, you know, not only do they tend to be a little bit cheaper than if you buy 2 30 ml bottles, but it's also great for us drippers. You could just, you know, drip it right down the drip tip and you're good to go. It makes it a little bit easier than having to deal with the whole, you know, regular bottle and all that stuff. Like some of these bottles, they have like thinner necks and stuff like that, and when you're dripping your juice, you'll wipe it down the side and it's just going to go all over the bottle. So, I don't know, I think a lot of companies are going in that direction. They're heading in that direction, which I'm totally okay with. So, with that being said, really the only other thing I've been vaping on is the Rig Pig. You guys have seen me post some pictures of this past week, and I did a live little first impressions video on my Facebook page. I'm planning on doing more of those live videos. I really enjoy the whole live video thing, so make sure you pay close attention to my Facebook page. It's facebook.com/dailyvapetv for those of you that don't know. Of course, links in the description. But yeah, if you pay attention close to my page, I'm just going to be popping online from time to time and giving my impressions and my reviews of certain devices out there that I feel like, you know, could use a little bit extra. And if I have something real quick to say about a device, or a follow-up, or just some little look behind the scenes, you know, you can just catch me in my natural habitat without the power of editing behind me, and that way you can see me completely raw and unfiltered. without all this, heavy editing that I do. Not that I do a lot of heavy editing in the first place, but I guess whatever. But yeah, I'm vaping on the Rig Pig. This is a series box mod, brand new from the people over at Vape. They make a wonderful product. A few minor complaints about it so far, but again, we're going to have to wait for the full review on it. I've really been enjoying vaping on this thing for the past week. It's definitely a great device. I really like this one. And let's see, we're a little bit dry, so let's go ahead and juice it up while I talk about what I've got going on in the dripper here, the Roughneck. So today I'm vaping on this beta version. This is a beta from something for a company that I'm kind of working with. It's not my line, so to speak, but I'm just kind of working with them. I actually did the labels for their bottles, which I'll maybe put up a little thumbnail picture or something over here if you guys want to see it. But yeah, I worked on the labels for them, and I kind of have a little bit of vetted interest in this company, so I have to kind of be completely transparent about that. I don't want to give you guys the false pretense that I have no interest in this company, but if you want to check them out, check them out. The juice should be out in a couple of weeks. We're just kind of finalizing, tweaking the flavors ever so slightly, but basically it's a blue raspberry centric line. So the first two flavors are going to be watermelon blue raspberry and strawberry blue raspberry, and I gotta tell you, I'm vaping on the watermelon right now. It is crisp and refreshing and clean, and oh, it's the perfect summer vape. I mean, if you guys haven't gotten a watermelon vape so far this summer, go out and pick yourself up some watermelon, because watermelon, I feel like, is the perfect summer vape, especially with a little bit of menthol in it. You can add a couple of drops of menthol to it, and it's going to make it even more refreshing. So let's go ahead and have a vape on this one. So yeah, I'm working with this company, and I'm kind of doing a little bit of promotion for them, so take from that what you will. I do have a interest in this company. If you guys want to check them out, it's just Blaz e-liquid. I'm not even sure if they have a Facebook page up yet. Like I said, the marketing and everything like that will be rolling out in the next couple of weeks, but it's very good stuff. I stand behind it because it is, it doesn't have any added sweeteners to it. The juice itself is very clear, and it's top-notch, good quality stuff. So I don't know, check it out if you want. But I'm not really going to push it upon you guys, but it's very good stuff. Hopefully, another flavor in the near future. If you guys are planning on attending the next Vape Northeast event, I forget what it's called, National Vape Expo, I believe, at Foxwoods Resort Casino in August, then that's where you're going to see basically the full release of this juice here. So one more vape off this one. And under the hood here is a 6-7 wrap coil that Ian from Vapor City Plus in New Jersey built for me at VaperSlam. So thanks so much, Ian. Do appreciate it, buddy. He's a great guy. Make sure you go check him out on Instagram. Links down there, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, he decided to do the 6-7 wrap because he wanted something where it wouldn't get too hot towards the center of the coil. And I totally agree with him on that. I wouldn't have even thought of it at the time, but he built this coil specifically for this because it is putting out 8.4 volts. So really no complaints about the Pig other than the fact that, it does get dirty pretty quick, and maybe the finish doesn't match the Roughneck V2, just saying. I might try to see if I can put a wet sander to the Roughneck and get it to polish up a little bit more, but I don't know. I'm afraid I'm going to lose those laser engraved logos. More stuff we're going to be talking about in the full review of this coming up this week. Let's see, what else is there to talk about? I got my vlog notes right here. Oh, yeah, of course. I got to talk about Fresh Build Week coming up, not this week, but probably next week. I'm going to try to get it out by next week. I'm going to do a full week of just build videos. I have not told anyone about this so far, so this is big news for me. You guys love my Fresh Build Friday series, and I want to bring you more. It's kind of playing on the whole Shark Week thing, you know, Shark Week, Build Week, whatever. But I'm kind of going back to basics and starting off with a basic coil build. I'm planning on doing 5 videos, you know, Monday through Friday. We're going to do 5 builds that are just basic stuff, easy to learn, fairly quick. I'm going to try to keep it under, 15 minutes or so. I know I'm a little bit long-winded sometimes, but I want to teach the beginners out there that might just be starting to get into building about the basics of the building and everything that goes into it. So I'm going to do my plan is to do a standard, cloud chasing type build, a standard flavor chasing type build, 2 different types of tank builds, and a temperature control build. So that's my plan. Hopefully it all works out. I really got to crank these things out, and these do not take a short amount of time to record and edit and upload and all that. So hopefully I'll get it done. I'm going to have to work double extra hard this week, but for you guys, it is worth it. So pay attention, tell your friends that you're going to be seeing some really awesome build videos this week or this next week. What week is it? I don't even know. So pay attention close to my page, and if you have friends out there that are just getting into building, make sure you let them know. Let's see, what else do we have real quick to talk about? Oh, I'm about to hit 15K on Tumblr, my blog. The first thing I started when I first started getting into reviews and things like that, I started a blog, and I started it on Tumblr thinking, oh, how many vapors could there possibly be on Tumblr? Well, apparently there's a lot, because I'm about to hit 15,000, so just thank you guys so much. You guys are the best. I absolutely love you guys on Tumblr. I get a lot of support from you guys, and especially with the advocacy stuff and things like that. I see a lot of people reblogging those and everything. So thank you guys so much for all the support. If you were with me since the beginning, since 400 followers on Tumblr, thank you guys so much. I feel like, that's when I started my YouTube channel. I said, I'm going to start a YouTube channel if I can get 400 followers. And at 400 followers, which came within the first 2 months, I'm like, wow, apparently people want to see me. So I guess I just went with it and I said, screw it, I'm making a YouTube channel. I invested some money in some camera equipment, and here we are today. So thank you guys so very much. I really just had to get that out there. Next up, we got the build mats, merch, and possibly doing a little bit of crowdfunding. I know you guys don't want me to talk about crowdfunding and all that. You guys are going to instantly tune out, but I'm planning on doing build mats and merch, and not just regular daily vape TV build mats. I want to do Fresh Build Friday build mats. So, if you guys are interested, make sure you leave a comment in the box below, because I'm trying to gain interest right now and see where we're at. If I have enough people that want these build mats, they're going to be, I think he does them 11 inches by 22 inches. Perfect amount of space for building your coils on, filling up your tanks, taking pictures for Instagram, all that good stuff. I'm really actually not even going to have too much of my own branding on there. It's just going to say Fresh Build Friday right across the front of it with, maybe a coil picture or something like that. I have to give credit where credit's due. Vape Mats, Michael Bodine, he is an amazing guy. He's actually, I'm going to be switching up my channel branding like I told you guys in my last vlog. I'm going to be switching up my channel branding a little bit to include, more my style stuff. And if you've seen my build mat that Michael Bodine did from Vape Mats, that's kind of where I'm going. That's the direction that I'm going with my channel. So thank you so much, Michael. I do appreciate everything that you're doing for me. So if you guys want to see me do some maybe build mats, t-shirts, stickers, things like that, let me know in the comment section below. I would love to get those out to you guys. And of course, if I'm doing anything on Kickstarter, that means you guys are going to get rewards for it as well. So I've got something else I really can't talk about quite yet, but maybe we'll get into that in the next vlog. However, if you guys are interested, then I'm probably gonna start a Kickstarter to fund that project there. And anyone that gives me any amount of money on Kickstarter will receive something for their trouble. So excuse me. Yeah. I know you guys don't want to hear crowdfunding or Kickstarter or anything like that, but honestly, just, you know, it's doing it for everyone out there that wants to see me do merch and stuff like that. I'm going to try to keep the prices as reasonable as possible, but anything you guys could do for me, that would be amazing. I mean, I haven't gotten too much support on my Patreon, but you know what? I'm not putting that much effort into it. Moving on, I'm just going to stop talking about that. So yeah, the coil art thing. We're doing coil art. Coil art keeps sending me stuff. They sent me like 10 boxes of coils the other day. I've got tons of these coils here. They make some awesome coils. They're doing notch coils in a few of their devices as well, so that's really awesome. But yeah, I'm going to be rolling out my coil art segment. Maybe not next week, the week after probably, because I don't think I'll be doing a vlog, or I'll be doing a very short vlog if I do anything at all for next week. But I'm going to be rolling out a coil art segment, which will be testing out the same coil on different devices using the same juice, the same wattage setting, everything like that. So yeah, I think I've finally found a plan and the right rhythm to do everything. So that's going to be the plan for my next vlog whenever that happens, if I can get all the materials together, because I still don't own some of the tanks that I have these coils for. But anyways, time for a little vape break here. I'm going to set up the next segment and I'll be back in a second. Alright, you guys, it's time to talk beer real quick. I've got something really special for you today. It's a Weyerbacher Blithering Idiot. This is a barley wine. So Weyerbacher Brewing Company out of Easton, Pennsylvania. This is an 11.1% English barley wine. And I have never been a big fan of barley wines, but I just decided to try it out. You know, I wanted something that had a good kick to it, so let's go ahead and pour it into our glass here. I always use these snifters. These are like the best thing to drink beer out of. Tulip glasses, you know, they have that nice little curved edge that just makes the flavor pop. So, as you can see, not too much head on it. It's kind of a nice, how would you describe that? Mauve color. You know, light caramel, something like that. Oh yeah, you can definitely smell like candied fruits and stuff in there. And you can smell the alcohol as well. It's 11.1%, so it's a pretty dark beer here. It's a very dark amber color, fairly opaque. Can't really see light through it too much, which is odd for an ale. You know, you think of ales, you don't think of, you know, super dark beer, but this one's like a quadruple. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and have a sip. Oh yeah, now like when it goes across your tongue, you get like that heavy caramel toffee flavor. Very, very malty. It's very enjoyable though. You know what? I have got to say, I've never been a big fan of barley wines before, but this isn't bad. This isn't bad. This is probably on the higher end of my barley wine list, which is very short, let me tell you. It's going to be pretty tough to pair this. Honestly, I'm looking for something with cinnamon in it. You know what? Tell you what. I've got these rigs ready to go for my next segment, but I figure we'll start off with the next segment with this one here. This is Big Papa. This is by MF Vapes Co., my buddy Ishi. This is Ishi's juice. So we're going to try to pair it with this one real quick, because this is kind of like a cinnamon desserty kind of vape. It's almost like a vanilla custard with a few other flavors in there. I forget what the actual profile is supposed to be. Sorry, Ishi. You want to, you know, contrast the flavor. Whenever you're trying to pair something, you want to contrast the flavor, because you don't want it to be matching. You want something that's going to just give it another layer of flavor. So real quick, let's go ahead. Actually, that's kind of nice. That's really nice. Yeah. So like, I feel like the desserty vanillas and cinnamon kind of cut down on the whole alcohol factor, because you get that nice alcohol burn after you take a sip of this one, and it really kind of cuts down on it because of how sweet this one is. So let's do the Grim Green style. Oh yeah, that works. That works really well. I'm proud of myself for that one. You know, I haven't really delved too far into the whole beer pairing thing, but it's definitely a world I want to do more with. That's kind of why I'm doing this segment here, is because I want to basically challenge myself and combine my two hobbies into one. You know, you have your beer, which is, you know, something I loved even before I started vaping, and then now I have vaping, which if I can combine those two things together, then my world is good, let me tell you. But yeah, this one here, let's go through the list. First up is aesthetics. Like, I have already been describing it, so you know, it's somewhat opaque, not a lot of head, very little lacing, and I feel like that's going to go away in a second anyways, but it's a nice dark amber color, very, very rich. Smells of like baking spices and candied fruits. That's what I get out of it. Like almost a little, maybe a little like dried banana chips. I don't know if you guys are familiar with dried banana chips, but that's what I get out of it. It smells like an English barley wine should. Taste. Very rich, malty, you know. You can really get that alcohol bite to it, but it's not too overbearing, which is nice. I don't like stuff that you can really, really, really taste the booze in it, and this is not one of them. You know, this is, you know what? If you're looking to start your night off right, then get yourself one of these, and you'll be good for a whole hour. This is definitely one of those sipping beers. Do not chug this. Very small sips. But yeah, it's good. It's very good. It's hard to describe the taste though. I'm getting everything I smelled, which is good. You know, you get your baking spices, you get your malts, stuff like that, and it's like fruitcake almost. You know what I'm saying? Where you got the candied dates and stuff like that, and fruit all packed into one, and you get almost that like bread. I know. But yeah, it tastes pretty good. Mouth feel, let's see. It kind of, you know, it definitely goes across the tongue with a nice, like, bubbly, effervescent kind of feel to it. It leaves a taste on your tongue, too. It definitely kind of almost coats your mouth, which is surprising for an ale like this, you know. It's good, though. It's nice. It's fairly light and refreshing considering the alcohol content. Let's just put it that way. And overall, I'd say, like I said before, this is high up on my barley wine list, even though it's a very short list. I would definitely get this one again. It's just got to be the right circumstances. You can't just go to a barbecue with a 4-pack of these and expect to just be, you know, swirling it around in your glass all day. If you're going to a barbecue, then, you know, it's summer. That's why I mentioned this. So you want something light and refreshing that's not going to just kill you on the alcohol content. Probably the opposite of a summery type beer, I guess. This is more one for fall or winter, I think, because for me, during the summer, I usually do sessions or farmhouses or Belgians or something very light and fruity and just all day drinkable. This is not one of them. I don't know. I just saw the label and I saw 11% and I said, yep, screw it, I'm going for it. People might want to watch that. So, but it is a tasty one. It's very, you can taste the caramel and a toffee, which is a really nice touch. But yeah, you can really get the booziness out of it too. But this pairing, I'm pretty happy with that. It just contrasts so well. I'm so surprised. A rich tobacco would even go better. Like the Mother of Mars again, I feel like, actually, you know what? The Mother of Mars might actually be a better pairing. Real quick, before we move on, I'm just going to do a little bit of Mother of Mars. And I keep going back to these Moon Mountain ones, but seriously, they make a good juice. Let's just do one more quick pairing here. It's even better. That's even better. And we'll do the Grim style. Oh, yeah. That is even better. I gotta tell you, tobaccos and beer just go. So if you're planning on drinking, pick up a tobacco flavor, especially stuff from Moon Mountain, because they got some good ones. All right, guys, let's move on. We got some other topics to talk about for those of you guys that don't like beer. So, vape break, and then we'll move on to our next segment. And we're back with our VPX Juice reviews. Now, I already got this one going here. So, let me preface this by saying I've got these 4 setups, all with fresh cotton on there. I built these all at the same time. This is using 4 setups with 6 wraps of 23 gauge Mad Rabbit N90 wire, Nichrome 90, around a 3mm bit, wicked with native wicks. So they are the exact same coils. They're ohming out right around 0.1 ohms, and that's what we're going to be using for judging these flavors. I'm going to have basically one for the desserty kind of flavors. I'm going to have one for fruity flavors, and you know, just whatever else I want to use, really. If I think certain one's not doing it for me, I'll just use another setup. Luckily, I have the ability to do that because I have 4 mech mods ready to go, freshly charged 18650s. So let's get started. First up, we have the Big Papa. Again, this is like a desserty kind of one here. It's a very rich vanilla smell to it. I'm just going to burn off this Moon Mountain real quick, and we'll get to this one. Yeah, so I'd say this one's kind of like a rich vanilla custard. You know, I feel like there's a little bit of cinnamon or something like that in there. Maybe like a pie crust kind of flavor. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but they come in these like squeezy 60ml bottles. And I think you also get a unicorn bottle as well. I love these bottles because they're so convenient to pack and bring along with you. If you don't carry around like a little bag like I do, then you can just put it in your pocket and it's going to feel comfortable and you don't have to worry about a glass bottle. I mean, even going back to the days when I was smoking cigarettes, that was like the one thing you always think about is like your cell phone, your wallet, and your pack of cigarettes. You're always paranoid. If you lean up against something, you're going to crush your pack of cigarettes. But that's kind of how it is nowadays with glass e-liquid bottles. I'm always, you know, paranoid about the glass bottle being in my pants pocket, so I usually carry around a gear bag with me pretty much everywhere I go. So this is definitely a good solution to that. Now, the only drawback is the fact that they don't come with child-proof caps. These dripper caps right here are completely not child-proof, so they usually have to package them in a box with a separate little piece that's attached to this for the cap, just a regular flat cap with a child-proof on it, and they're usually safety sealed as well. I don't really mind that too much because honestly, just having the ability to put the dripper top on there and just squeeze away, it makes it all worth it to me. Now, moving on, we have Stud Muffins. I know you guys can't see that. Stud Muffins by the same people, MF Vapes Co. I'll leave links, of course, in the description if you guys want to check any of this stuff out for yourself. This is another desserty flavor, so I'm just going to drip it right over this one. This one is kind of like those little tiny, you know, muffins that you get in the package. Like you could just go buy them at the store. They're like little blueberry muffins. That's kind of what this one is here. And I've tried this one before. I tried it at VPX with my buddy Ishi, and it's really tasty stuff. So let's go ahead and have a vape on this one. Yeah, you definitely get that familiar, you know, little tiny muffin kind of flavor to it. Almost artificial, which is a good thing in my opinion. Like, you don't get like a full-on blueberry or anything like that. This one is more like that, those little like freeze-dried blueberries that you get in those little tiny little baby muffins, you know. But it's definitely good stuff. Make sure you check them out. This one comes in a glass 60 ml bottle. I believe it comes in a box as well. So yeah, this is good stuff, man. Ishi is doing a great job with his juice lines and everything. So make sure you check these guys out. Next up, we have Mr. Brunch. This one is by the same people. This is Mr. Brunch E-Juice on Instagram. It is made by Ishi. I believe it's made by MF Vapes Co. as well. So it comes in this little box here, as you can see. You get a 60 ml bottle. I believe that's 60 ml. It looks bigger than 60 ml almost, but 60 ml bottle there. And this one is... it looks like cream cheese stuffed French toast with blueberry jam or blueberry syrup rather, and whipped cream. So let's go ahead and try this one out. So it's kind of along the same lines as what we just had, but you know, I just want to give it a shot for you guys because it's definitely got a different layer flavor. Yeah, you can absolutely taste or smell the French toastness to it. French toastness? Is that a word? Sure, let's call it a word. Yeah, that's a killer cinnamon right there. That's good stuff, though. I really like the cinnamon in this one. It's really noticeable, but it's not too overbearing. Yeah, it's different. You know, you're used to that. I was getting used to that baby muffins kind of flavor, and now you throw an extra layer of flavor in there, and all of a sudden it just transforms the whole vaping experience into something completely different. So yeah, that's that one. Let's go ahead and grab another setup here. I just grabbed my Ruby mod first, so that's what we're going to be using. Let's try out some of this stuff here. This is Hulk Tears. This is by Mighty Vapors. I posted about this not too long ago on my Instagram. Very good stuff. Very clean, clear juice. This is like a watermelon. I believe it's a watermelon mixed berry. I looked it up real quick because I couldn't put my finger on the extra added note of flavor in there, but like I was saying, watermelon is the flavor to try for summer. This is like the best stuff to have during the summer. They also make a menthol version of it, which I have as well. Haven't dipped into that one quite yet. I might try to wait for a tank on that one because I don't know. Dripping menthol is for extreme cases, I suppose. Like, you can do it, but I don't like to drip menthol so much. I'll tank it, no problem, but all right, so let's go ahead and try this one out. Oh yeah, very light, very refreshing, very tasty. This is a perfect mix of watermelon and mixed berry. You don't get too heavy of one or the other. If anything, I think the watermelon's a little tiny bit stronger, but I don't, you know, complain about that whatsoever because watermelon is definitely one of my top favorite flavors for summer. Really good stuff. Definitely give it a shot. Just no question about it. Go out and try this stuff if you haven't already. If you have, of course, leave comments in the box below and let me know what you think of it. But this is a great summer vape. Next up, we have unregulated e-liquid. This one is called Pops. And this is a Rocket Pop flavor. So, how appropriate on the 4th of July. We have a Rocket Pop flavor, Murica, hashtag Murica. Let's go ahead and drip this one on here. It's that very familiar flavor. It's very familiar, like you've had this one before. If I didn't tell you what it was, you probably wouldn't be able to guess what it was. But you know you've had it before, and this, compared to other, you know, Rocket Pop flavors that I've tried in the past, they tend to over accentuate certain flavors in here. But I get spot on, you know, that popsicle-y flavor. You get like a little bit of the cherry. I think there's maybe a little pineapple in there and a little bit of like the blue raspberry, but it's so well balanced and so well mixed. No complaints about this one whatsoever. Another great summer vape. This one would even go good with menthol if you wanted to. Let's have another vape here. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. Really can't get enough of it. I was worried I was going to run out of most of these flavors before I even did this video. I know I've been slacking with my juice reviews, but I've been extremely busy. I've gotten all this hardware to test out for you guys, so I haven't really gotten around to too many juice reviews. Basically, this is the format that it's going to be. It's going to be like, you know, a 10-minute segment of the flavors that I get at a convention, if they're mostly like one-off flavors and stuff like that. But yeah, this is another one that comes in that squeezy 60 mil. Absolutely love these bottles. I can't get enough of them. More companies need to do this. So there's that. All right, moving on. Our next flavor we're going to be trying out today is, let's see, let's do this one here. Dirty Little Secrets. This one is called Scrum, and it's a strawberry vanilla almond milk. And it's absolutely tasty. I went through pretty much most of the bottle before I even got into this video. But yeah, there's 2 flavors that I absolutely love out there. And I know e-liquid companies don't like me comparing their flavors to other flavors. But this one is like Moo Liquids vanilla almond milk mixed with Holy Cow e-liquids Pink Bunny. And you just, if those 2 had a baby, this is what it would be. And it is absolutely fan-freaking-tastic. Let's go ahead and dry off this one real quick, and then we'll review that. I mean, these are not final juice reviews or anything like that. This is just kind of me showing off these products for the people that were kind enough to give me these at the show. So let's go ahead and try this one out. Oh yes. Oh yes. That is a flavor that I can definitely get behind. Straight up like vanilla almond milk and strawberry milk just had a baby. Perfect. The last 2 I have to try, which I'm going to be doing on a different setup. First of all, we're going to do the Hunger Demolish. This one, let's see, I can't remember these ones. Yeah, okay, so this one's like a tropical, like iced tea or something like that. It's got like peach in it and a few other kind of tropically, like mango and stuff like that. I feel like there's a little pineapple in there as well. Right up my alley. This is definitely going to be my kind of flavor right here. And I've done this one in the tank for a while, and it was really tasty, but I have not tried it yet on a dripper, so that's what we're going to get into today. And I'm making a mess, but you know what? It's all worth it for the flavor. Do it for the flavor. So yeah, it took about, an hour today doing all these builds, so hopefully you guys enjoy this little segment here, because it took a lot of work. It took a lot of effort for this one. So yeah, we're whipped up, ready to go. Let's go ahead and pop our top cap on here. Make sure everything is lined up. Airflow. Good. I'm going to close off the top airflow, open up the bottom airflow a little bit more, because I know this is a pretty warm build. Alright, let's go ahead and do this one. Definitely good stuff. I'm really happy with all these flavors that I picked up, honestly. I love the fruitier ones the most, but even the desserty or breakfasty ones that I picked up are good as well. Really no complaints about this one. Nice and sweet, nice and light, nice and tropical. Just an all-around good mix of flavors in there. Definitely good stuff. And for the other one here, Demolish, this one I know is a key lime milkshake. I'm going to be using another new setup for this one because it's kind of a random flavor type. So yeah, I've got all of my mods out here, all this hardware, just to do a quick few little flavor reviews. But yeah, this one is a key lime milkshake, and I actually talked to them for a minute about this one. I said, why didn't you go with a key lime pie? And they said, well, everyone does key lime pie. We wanted to be a little bit different, and the owner of the company doesn't like key lime pie. They don't like the pie crust flavor, so that's kind of the story behind this one. Let's just pop our top cap on. There we go, and we'll give this one a shot. So I've had a lot of key lime vapes in the past, but this one's a little bit different. I like this one because it's just that more creaminess to it. It's got a whole other layer of cream besides just the the cream cheese kind of vape to it. This one, you get that milkshake. You get the little extra vanilla without the pie crust. It's not heavy. It's nice and light, and it's nice and not really refreshing, so to speak. Like, this is another one for later on in the evening or something like that, maybe after dinner for dessert. This is a really great dessert vape. So if you like key lime pie, then make sure you check out Demolish by Hunger. It's a key lime milkshake, which you just don't see too much of, you see plenty of key lime pies out there, but this one just likes to be just that little bit different. Let's go ahead and give it one more vape. Yeah, you can almost call this one refreshing. It's that close to refreshing. So lastly, I'm not going to be able to do the full thing here, but I just wanted to try out the Adore e-liquid. They were kind enough to give me a whole sample pack. I might end up doing a full review on their line, but I smelled this one. This is their Peach Colada, and I really wanted to get into this one. Let's see, which setup did I do that one on? Let's see. The Velocity. Okay, so let's go ahead and try this one on the Velocity since I've already got a Peach on here. We're just going to try this one out real quick for you guys. But they come in these squeezy unicorn bottles, which is a nice touch because just the convenience factor. The convenience factor alone really sells me on this one. And peach. I love peach. You guys know I love peach. So not only am I going to judge it a little bit more harshly, and you're going to get a better flavor review out of me, but it's just the best flavor for summer. Very good. Very well done. Not too artificially peach tasting. You get like a nice mix of like a fresh peach and a candy peach in there. It's almost like a hybrid between the two flavors. There's also another layer of flavor in there that I can't really put my finger on. It's kind of a peach punch or something like that. It's very refreshing, very light, but the flavor is full on. And I could see myself vaping this one all day long, definitely for sure. All right, so that about concludes our little juice review, impromptu VPX juice review. Hope you guys enjoyed that little bit. Make sure you check all these companies out. They come out with some very good flavors. So I would like to thank everyone that gave me juice at VPX. Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate everything that you guys do for me and helping me along with my channel and everything like that. So thank you guys so much. I'm just going to have a real quick vape break. We'll be back with our next segment. Alright guys, we are back with our next segment, which I like to call Vape Drama Alert. So we have some vape drama news this week. First of all is Vapor Blackout 2016. If you have an Instagram account, you probably saw this hashtag over this past week. Everyone was shutting down their Instagram pages for this week because it's Vapor Blackout. We want to show solidarity and support to vaping advocacy. And what better way to do that is to stop everyone from posting their normal hand checks and coil builds and products and everything else, vape models and all that stuff. Shut them down for a week, just black out your page and post nothing but advocacy links and advocacy little pictures with it as well. They also gave like a daily challenge kind of thing where you had to, talk to your local news media or share your story on your personal Facebook page and things like that. So I give a lot of credit to everyone behind this whole movement, but unfortunately it didn't see a lot of support. I noticed basically like right on the first day, pretty much, not even pretty much, like half the companies out there kind of participated a little bit by posting up the repost of the original image and stuff like that. But then after that, they said, okay, well, we're only going to be doing this for one day because we got stuff to sell. So unfortunately, we didn't get a lot of the bigger companies behind this thing, and it didn't gain a lot of traction because of it. I mean, honestly, we are, more unified when everyone does the same thing, when we can all agree on something and we just do it right. And unfortunately, that's just not the case. Personally, I feel like a lot of the companies out there have like these marketing companies behind their Instagram pages, their Facebook pages, their Twitter accounts, all that stuff. And the marketing team, I guess, either didn't get the memo or something like that, where they just could not contractually participate in this whole thing, which I understand you got to make your money, but in a month's time, you're not going to be seeing any money because vaping is basically done, and that's the way it's going to be. So if profits today, right now, are meaningful to you, then that sucks because you're not going to be around for the long term. So I hope all the companies that did not participate, feel good about themselves because, you screwed it up for the rest of us. How are you going to reach your fans and tell your fans about this sort of movement if you can't participate yourself? So unfortunately, it didn't see a lot of traction, but it seemed like most of the advocates and YouTubers were participating, but companies were just carrying on as usual. In my personal opinion, I think they picked the wrong week to do it because it's the week leading up to today, which is July 4th, which means July 4th sales. And just like any other corporation, company, business out there, you're going to have those July 4th sales. That's just how things go in America. You know, you have your July 4th weekend sale and stuff like that. It's like, okay, great. But you're promoting your products that are going to be around for another, couple months to a couple of years tops, when this industry just completely goes underground because of your actions in the months leading up to it. So it just, makes a lot of people just feel so disenchanted by everything. And that's not the way I want to feel. I try to wake up every day positive, happy, and ready to, just grab life by the horns and just get ready to rock and roll for the day. And unfortunately, seeing this negativity on my, industry's pages that I love so much, I love this industry so much, and seeing all this negativity and drama is not something I want to, wake up to every day. So unfortunately, I just got to say the Vapor Blackout 2016 program just didn't really work. It seemed like the people that were already advocating were continuing to do so and participated, and the people that don't really give a shit about the industry kept on not giving a shit, which is unfortunate. It really, really, really is just unfortunate, and it hurts my heart to be a part of this industry that can't even get support for 1 week. Technically, it was 5 days. If you can't do something for 5 days and stop posting your hand checks and your vape models and your products and all this stuff, then how are we going to ever survive for the next 2 to 3 years? That's just, it's incredibly frustrating. So next up, we have ProVape says screw you to vape shops. That's actually what I wrote in my vlog notes, but they've put out an email blast the other day. I forget which day it was, but they put out an email blast that basically said, why bother buying from a dealer when you can buy direct? And instantly it got negative backlash by a lot of people out there that have been selling ProVape products for years. And they said, oh, well, okay, so you don't want to support the vendors that have been supporting your company for the past, however many years? Well, screw you, ProVape. ProVape is like the company that time forgot because they're stuck on the 30, 40 watt box mods, and the radius, I heard a lot about the radius, and after it came out, I didn't hear too much about it. So unfortunately, I feel like ProVape kind of lost their way a while back, and they just never wanted to continue on and upgrade with the normal flow of things, which, it's an American-made company, and they're a relatively small business, but they have their legion of fans that absolutely love their products, which is great. Every industry needs that, but at the same time, I feel like if you forget about your dealers, then you're basically saying screw you to the whole industry. So after that, it was only a few hours before they put out an email apology that says it was an unapproved message by the marketing team, which sounds to me like damage control. This is all speculation. I'm not sure what happened or whatever, but it sounds to me like they had this message and all of a sudden they got so much negative backlash by especially some of the top people in this industry, including Dimitri the Vaping Greek, and they retracted their statement almost immediately. So definitely not a good look on your part, ProVape. So unfortunately, I feel like they lost a lot of fans, or the few fans they had left. So that's definitely going to be part of the vape drama for this past week. Cheers to you, ProVape. If you think you can survive without your dealers, then good luck to you. But my final little tidbit here is Cynthia Cabrera quits Safada. Now, this is big news because Safada's been kind of, how should I put this, in trouble for quite some time. They kind of almost disbanded at one point a few months back, and they ended up breaking off into two different groups, hence why I was talking about the infighting in my last vlog. There's been a lot of infighting with those two groups after their little split there, because they go in two different directions. We're fighting all for the same thing, mind you, but they go off in two different directions, and you get like the bickering back and forth like 16-year-old girls on the playground. And we do not need that. Now, so Cynthia has been there, pretty much since day one with Safada. She's been holding them down, and unfortunately, she decided to leave. I hear there's no successor yet named, but I guess we're going to have to wait and see in the next couple of months. Probably the worst time for this to happen. This is probably the worst time for stuff like this to happen. It's not good. If advocacy groups start, breaking apart and disbanding, then we're all in trouble. So I hope you guys will give Safada your full support. I still wholeheartedly support Safada in their fight for our vaping rights. But, just keep an eye out in the next coming months, because you're going to see a lot of different changes and things like that going on. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's really all the information I have on this topic. I haven't really delved too far into it. Long story short, this is not good. So give Safada your full support. Continue supporting Safada. Do not bail on them because of this. They are still fighting for your rights. So make sure you still give your money. If you can donate to them. All this stuff costs money, so make sure you do whatever you can to help advocate for the industry that you love so much. So that's all I got this week for Vape Drama. Let's go ahead, have a quick vape break, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, now it's time to talk about VaperSlam New York. I went to Syracuse a couple weekends ago for VaperSlam. It's my first VaperSlam event. I was really excited about it, but unfortunately I had to pay for a B2B pass to get in to actually cover the whole event. Otherwise I would only have been able to come in at noon with the rest of the general public, and I wanted to experience the whole thing for myself, so I ended up just paying the $50 for a B2B pass. That way I could get in for just to hang out with the vendors and get some one-on-one time with them and pick their brains a little bit more about their products. So anyways, let's see. My first topic is the advocacy meeting the first day. It had about 100 people. They had Larry J. Faircloth and Joe and Robin from the Vaping Militia come up on stage and talk. They also had Pip from Suicide Bunny, as well as Andrew Osborne and CJ from Western New York Vapor or Vapor Trail e-cigs come up and do a little bit of an advocacy talk. There was about, I'd say, roughly 100 people in the audience, mostly businesses. I believe this was only for B2B. The first initial B2B advocacy meetup was for all the businesses to kind of just stop what they're doing at their booths and go over to the main stage and just check out, all the stuff that there is to know about advocacy. It was okay. I did a little live feed on my Facebook page, but it was all right. I mean, there was a few topics that were important to talk about. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get Gregory Connolly or Alex from CASA or Stefan Didek or, Aaron from A Billion Lives or, a lot of the other bigger name advocates out there to speak. I feel like Joe did a great job, and Robin does always a great job helping to spread the message there. Joe and Robin actually got a booth with CCI, Cloud Chasers Inc. They were at their booth, which is like one of the bigger ones right by the main entrance, and they did their thing that throughout that weekend. And Andrew and CJ were walking around all weekend to talk to the general public about stuff. And but I feel like not enough people know Andrew and CJ. Like, Andrew and CJ are amazing guys. They are doing great things for this industry. To the best of my knowledge, they're not directly associated with, any particular advocacy group, but they get out there and advocate themselves. So I applaud you guys. I've showcased you in my previous vlogs, and I just wanted to once again give you a quick shout out because you're doing great stuff for this industry. But other than that, let's see, there were no stripper poles, which is definitely a good thing, but there were a few scantily clad ladies there. One company in particular from Canada Had a few models dressed up in Day of the Dead makeup and little tutus and things, and they were walking around with their butt cheeks hanging out. And for the guys that were there, of course it was going to be good to them, because who doesn't love half naked women? But as far as giving this industry a squeaky clean look, definitely not. We need to be 100%. We need to be on point with this and not let that kind of thing happen at our events. Like, look, vape models are great, for Instagram. But as far as this industry is concerned, if we have a big show like this and you are potentially getting non-vapors or current smokers in the building, and they see something like that, especially for the female demographic, it might make them uncomfortable. And I realize this is, the whole Safe Space America kind of thing coming out, but in an currently unregulated industry, you're looking at something from an outsider's point of view. And if you do that and you see half-naked women walking around and you just wonder, why is this industry even a thing? If they're just marketing like that, we want to market our products as a way and a tool to help people quit smoking. That's the end of the day. That's what you're going to get out of the vaping industry. But unfortunately, it seems like certain companies out there just kind of want to cater to the lowest common denominator, which is the horny 18 to 25-year-old men, boys, if you will. So unfortunately, I just feel like there's too much of that in this industry. Now, I'm a man, and don't get me wrong, I like my half-naked women just like the rest of them, but there's a time and a place for things like that. And at a public trade show like that, that's just completely open to the public and anyone can just walk in. I mean, general admission was free, so anyone could walk in off the street and check out the show. So in an event like that, I would say no to those types of vendors. Same thing goes with, cartoony labels or anything like that. Something that may possibly be construed as marketing to children. I would say absolutely not to any vendor that is trying to sign up for a booth at my event with a booth like that. I would say, show me your logos, show me your bottles, everything like that, before I would even say, yes to their booth. Now, unfortunately, the money factor kind of gets in the way, especially if you have, 10 or 20 unsold booths when you have 2-3 weeks up to the show. You're going to run into that problem where you're just going to go, yeah, you know what, just come on in, you just give me my money. So I feel like the money factor kind of plays a part in this whole thing. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not 100% bashing VaperSlam at all. This is kind of a general blanket statement for anyone out there that's ever been to a show before. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And even if you watch my footage from VPX or VNE or any of the other shows that I've been to, you kind of get a feeling for it. So that's just kind of what I'm trying to portray to you guys. It's definitely not 100% all relating to VaperSlam. So I just want to make a note of that before I continue on. So the attendance there seemed to be a bit light. It wasn't definitely not what I was expecting. I was expecting crazy amounts of people where you can't even walk through the aisles, and you usually have to scoot through people and stuff like that. I know I still haven't put out my vlog video, my travel vlog yet about the show. However, you're going to see that in my video. Just kind of not a whole lot of people there, unfortunately. Seemed to be really light with B2B, almost no one, maybe a couple hundred people walking around trying to pick up stuff for their shops or sell their own wares, but other than that, not too many people showed up, especially for a Friday afternoon. I expected people to flood in, and it just never happened. The show schedule was 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. 9 to noon was B2B, and afternoon to 8 was B2C. So it was a pretty brutal schedule for vendors. Some people didn't show up until noon, and some people didn't show up, or they left a little bit early or something like that to go get something to eat. So the show schedule was pretty brutal. Lastly, real quick, because my camera light's blinking, YouTubers, media weren't very happy because everyone wanted to get in for B2B, such as myself, but had to pay for it. I spoke with Mike Vapes himself and Daryl from Quest for Vape and Phenom, and they all had to pay to get into B2B. They were with one of the guys from Innikin, and even Innikin just got a general admission thing. He was not allowed into the B2B session, which a company like Innikin, you kind of want at your show. Oh yeah, one last thing I wanted to talk about for VaperSlam New York was the fact that there was not a whole lot of stuff there. There was mostly juice, just like, you know, most shows nowadays, I suppose, but there was a severe lack of hardware there. The only things that were really worth mentioning were the Rig Pig at the RigMod Vape Amp booth, and Hexome. Hexome just released that day, actually on Friday. They released their Hexome V3, but neither of those two were wholesaling. So unfortunately, you know, you could pick it up for retail, but that's about it. You couldn't really pick up anything brand spanking new for your shop unless you wanted to pay full retail price for it. So I was a little bit disappointed in seeing that. Usually you see, you know, a handful of wholesalers, you know, stuff like that. There was the usual kind of bank card thing for the vendors. There was like shipping services and bottle companies, flavoring companies. Capella was there. But other than that, there was really not a lot as far as hardware. I mean, Mad Rabbit was there for their wire company, and you had a guy selling these little coil making machines, which was kind of neat, but other than that, I mean, there was not much to talk about. Even the guys over at the CCI booth said they weren't really doing much as far as wholesale on their devices that they had at their booth. They carry a lot of the stuff from Vaporgate, and which they just kind of referred you over to the Vaporgate booth. So there was one wholesaler there. I forget the name of it. You'll see it in my video, but that's about it. They were the only ones with hardware there. So yeah, there's really not much to talk about when it comes to VaperSlam New York. I was a little bit bummed, you know, especially since it was rated by the reader's favorite for Vape Magazine. So I was a little bit disappointed with the event. Not saying it was a bad experience overall. I'm super glad I went. I got to talk to my favorite people in the universe. But just for a vendor's point of view, or from a consumer's or even a business's point of view, I don't think it was anything special as far as the show is concerned. Perhaps maybe a lack of marketing or something like that. I'm not sure. Maybe it's because no vape famous people were going or anything like that, but I don't know. Maybe that's why, but that's, again, just a little bit of speculation. So vape break real quick, and we'll get on to our last topic. And finally, for my last topic today, we're going to be talking a little bit about the DWMHA, or Detroit Wayne Mental Health Authority billboard being taken down. Now, I can't say that it's 100% vapor related, but we definitely had an influence on them. We got thousands of one-star reviews on their page. They temporarily took down their page on Facebook. It has since been brought back to life. But I feel like vapors are still just kind of plugging away at them on that topic there, because they put out a billboard that just straight lied to the general public. You really can't go under the guise of public health with no proof. And a lot of people were referencing to them the Royal College of Physicians study, as I did in my one-star review on their page. So yeah, that's kind of a big victory, I think. You know, that I've heard rumors that that billboard is coming down. I know Joe Barnett from Vaping Militia had said that on his page and shared it with Vaping Militia, which is great. So unfortunately, we have another billboard on our hands now. This one is coming from, let me just look up my Twitter feed here. Let's see, Tobacco Free 303. This is Commerce City. I'm not exactly sure where this is. I just see a picture from AJ Brave of Brave Media. Tobacco Free 303, and the billboard states, make Commerce City vape free. Boom. I'm going to be putting up a little picture of the billboard here, and I'll have links in the description if you want to go comment on their Twitter feed as well. Make sure you just plug them a little bit with some facts. Don't be, rude or disrespectful or anything like that. You want to be as nice as possible, but just kind of point them in the right direction. hopefully we can get this one taken down as well, because that's the last thing we need, is for the general public to have this stigma against vaping and thinking that it's a bad thing. I mean, we already get enough bad press as it is, but how many people are going to drive by that billboard and just go, yeah, I think they're right. I think we should make 303 vape free. So yeah, just make sure you pay attention to what's going on. Pay close attention to your Twitter feed. Pay close attention to your Facebook page and any groups that you might be in. Of course, go like their pages on Facebook for Not Blowing Smoke and Kasa and Safada and all these guys, because they're the ones that are going to get that information out to you the quickest. So pay very close attention to the advocates page and follow what they do. That's what I like to do. If I see something that's definitely share worthy, I will share it to my own page. You know, someone spitting truth or good news for our industry, of course, that's where you're going to see it, is on my page. Not saying I'm the biggest advocate out there, but anything is helpful at this time. At this point in time, I feel like pretty much anything you do is helpful, except for being rude and just an asshole, basically. So be nice about it and just go give them a piece of your mind. That's what my recommendation is. Of course, just follow the advocates' leads. That's what I always say. Anything that Not Blowing Smoke posts or anything like that, I like to share it on my Facebook feed, or sometimes I'll do it on Instagram as well. So just keep sharing stuff. That's how we're going to do this, is just by getting the information out there, the proper information out to the right people, and sharing it with the masses. So if you have a following and your family, gets to read your Facebook posts and things like that, maybe from time to time just share an advocacy post, because maybe they don't know that these mass media, like the posts and things like that, are complete BS. I mean, for some people, they still believe that diacetyl is something that's going to kill you in e-liquid, and e-liquid contains propylene glycol, which is the same stuff as antifreeze. So just get the proper information out there into the right people's heads, and hopefully we can change the public's perception on vaping. That would be a huge win for us. So just get out there and do your part. Like I always tell people, just do your part, do your thing, and advocate. That's the only way we're going to be able to save this industry, is if we advocate and just inform people that don't already know this information. It does us no good sharing it in vape-only groups or closed groups on Facebook. You got to share it with the general public. And that's kind of one thing I did for the Vapor Blackout 2016 project, was just share my own story on my personal Facebook page. I mean, I barely even use my personal Facebook page, so for me that was like a big step. And I actually got a few very positive responses, just saying how, vaping has helped my dad quit smoking, or my uncle, or whatever, my daughter. Everyone out there has a story to tell, and all you have to do is just kind of ask. So there you go. I would also recommend continuing as much as you can as far as the topics for Vapor Blackout 2016. All you got to do is check out my Instagram feed, and you can see all the posts that were the original posts there. But yeah, it's important to do this stuff on a daily basis, not just because you're told to do something or anything like that. You should be getting out there and getting up on your little soapbox and just saying how great vaping is every day, because I mean, that's how I truly believe. That's 100% my personal beliefs are that vaping saves lives, and we are all in this together. Win or lose, united we stand. Together we are strong. Rah, rah, rah. But, so, yeah. That's really all I got as far as the little advocacy wrap up here. I'm just going to finish this real quick, and then I'll do my sign out. Whew. Alright guys, that about wraps up this video here today. Thank you all for joining me so very much. Make sure you leave comments in the box below if you have anything to say about any topic that I talked about today. Of course, check out the links in the description. I have them there for you, so you can check out the different companies that I showcase on this little show here. Show them some love. They're great people. They were kind enough to give me juice to show to you guys, so make sure you show them some love. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. Check out the advocacy links in the description below. Make sure you're fighting for your right to vape. Also, check me out on all my different social media. I have Twitter and Instagram. Make sure you follow me on there. Like my page on Facebook. Check out my Snapchat. And if you want to give me a couple of bucks on my Patreon, that would be awesome as well. So thank you all for joining me so very much. And as always, vape on.